Hi everyone. How are you feeling today? This is the ReFrench Your Brain, the Tuesday session. Thank you for those that are watching live, and thank you also for the replay team. You are awesome. So I'm just checking if I am live. Yes, I am live. It's amazing. So I'm hearing twice, but it's about seeing if there are any comments on YouTube, on LinkedIn. And on YouTube also, I am live. That's amazing. So I am live in both. I'm just going to assume that in YouTube it will show the comments. On LinkedIn, I will be back and forth sometimes to see if I am having any comments that I don't see in Retreat. So let me just stop the music. And how are you feeling today? It's a blessing. It's the 3rd of September, so it's the second day of the week. And as each Tuesday, I make it longer. And feel free to join the stage, either by having the QR code there or to go in the comments. I'm just going to announce again that I am live, so bear with me and let me know how are you feeling, how is going your journey about language learning, and to see if you are learning any particular language. Could be French, could be anything else. And so I'm just going to say again, we are live. Come join us, and also on stage you are welcome. So as always, I improvise, and this week is about the orchestra. So it's like improvisation orchestra today. And because I'm happy to welcome anyone on stage for this particular Tuesday. So, so it's about orchestra. Yesterday I was talking about a lot of things already, the instrument. And today, the word for today that I was reflecting is an interesting word, because I think it exists also in English, and there are multiple of these instruments. So the word of the day for the orchestra, and I'm also happy to hear from you in the comments or on stage to know if you would like me to talk about another instrument. But from now, I'm going to focus on flute. And so I'm going just right now to go to Wiktionary, because there is Wikipedia and Wiktionary, and going to share my screen, because this is an interesting instrument, by the way. And so so my screen is shared. Thank you again for bearing with me. So flute. And here you have, in Wiktionary, you have the pronunciation. So I'm going to tackle that.
Une flûte.
Une flûte, it's feminine. La flûte, une flûte. Let's try the Canadians, because they are sometimes funny in their pronunciation. Oops. Flûte alors. It doesn't show.
Flûte.
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 So flûte. And so flûte, it's used to many things, in fact, not only the instrument. So flûte, mainly it's from the ancient French float, from ancient Occitan flauta, and probably from the Latin flare, which is souffler. That's interesting. Peut-être. So it's not probably the main thing, but it's really interesting. So flûte alors, I don't see any of your comments. Feel free to Let me know. What do you think about this word, flute? Because this is an interesting instrument. But not only that. So as always, feel free to join on stage at any time during the 90 minutes maximum. I will do my best to make it at 60 minutes, especially if there is no one joining. Yet you are welcome to join the stage also at any time. And even for a few minutes, you are welcome because it's about interaction. So flute, souffle, that makes sense. So it's the instrument, wind instrument in the form of pipe with a lot of holes, orifice, or true. And so it's a vibration. And let me check in English what it means. Flute. So in English, it might be different pronunciation, by the way. So let's see in US.
Flute, flute,
Flute. Flute.
Flute, flute,
flute,
flute. So in English, flute, and in French, flûte. So it's also interesting. It's not in French. It's not flute because flute is could be having another meaning, like the verb from the verb fluter, which is to blur, and it's not the same. So it's really interesting to really pronounce flute, and not flu. So that's for the pronunciation. And so in German, Flöte. I'm really curious to know about the pronunciation.
Flöte.
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 Flöte,
So that's also interesting when you know about the pronunciation. In Italian, oh, there was no see, flauto, because A and U are pronouncing differently, but there is no pronunciation out there. But let's see if there is the IT, which is Italian, flauto. No, there is no pronunciation, but it's flauto, because the A and the U is pronounced differently, like paura, so flauto. But then it's the flauto. In Portuguese, flauta, but maybe it's pronounced differently. Let me check if there is pronunciation in Portuguese. Amazing. So let's say in Catalan what it's pronouncing.
Flauta. Flauta.
Flauta. In Spanish,
Flauta.
So that you have the different languages with flute. And so it's really also interesting how the accent comes. Is because in ancient French, flotte, and so it's the so even in English there is no circumflex accent. In French there is a circumflex accent, so that's very interesting. So mainly it's about the music. In orchestra, it's an instrument. It's not only about orchestra, sometimes you have also in concert. I was thinking about the chorus, the Irish group with three sisters, I think, the chorus. And they use sometimes the flute for the instrument. Or maybe I'm misleading about another instrument. So sorry if I'm misleading, but I was thinking it's the flute, but maybe I'm wrong. But then metonymy, it's a player of the flute. So in flute, or well, it's interesting. I was not knowing that, by the way. In music, a play of orgue, jeu d'orgue. What is jeu d'orgue in English? Jeu d'orgue. Oh, sorry. I don't. Ah ouais. Okay. So sorry.
Jeu d'orgue.
Voilà, jeu d'orgue. It's a set of pipes activated by the same registra. And aside that, there is also the yeah, things that are reminding the form of this instrument of music. And so, in particular, it could be a glass with a long foot and sharp, straight, I think, like la flûte à champagne, the champagne flute. Could be also a bottle, really long, high. But also in the bread, in the bread industry, a baguette that is really thin, a thin baguette. And there are many uses, but it's like yeah, that's also interesting. It could be also the sound of an animal. La flûte du merle, it's a bird, or la flûte d'une voix, but it's not so much. I was not knowing that, but la flûte du merle. That's the most about the things that I know. I'm not going too much into details because it's a bit like vulgar. But let's say the derived, and I'm just checking if there are any comments. Feel free to comment at any point. And even the replay team, feel free to comment afterward. And if you are live, always feel free to go on live on the stage. So that I'm feeling a bit less alone, but that's okay. I'm happy to be alone because I'm not really alone. I know that there will be a lot of people watching after that. But if you happen to be live, to be there watching live, feel free to jump on stage if you choose so, of course. So derived, accorder ses flûtes. Yeah, it's to be in agreement. Or ajuster ses flûtes. The same, to adjust. There is amazing because when I was seeing that is like flûte à champagne, mettre de l'eau dans son vin, to bring the water in its wine, to be in agreement. So accorder ses flûtes, like adjust the flute. The rest for the kitchen on bec de flûte, for tools that are really their extremes elements are looks like a flute. But then I don't see so much expression that I was knowing. There are types of flute or expression in the music. Flûte traversière. Flûté, well, not so, flûtiste. Flûtiste, that's someone who is playing the flute. So I was seeing flute as a person, but the most known for the player is flûtiste. Aside that, poisson flûte, that's a type of fish, really long. Let me check. There is no picture to show you. But I was thinking about flûte traversière, which is a type of flute that you see there. So it's a free extremity where the biseau on the middle of the instrument. So that's why traversière, traverse, lateral. And so that's really interesting when it comes to that. And here is the pronunciation, by the way. Oops, sorry.
Flûte traversière.
Voilà, flûte traversière. And so there are the expressions and also the vocabulary that is similar by the meaning. Sopilka or tilinka, never heard about that. So that's interesting about the instrument. But then the flûte à champagne, it's a champagne glass. So very interesting. And then here comes my favorite part, the interjection. So just checking if there are any comments. Feel free to comment at any time. And I'm going to make a pause. Flûte alors. I'm going to make a pause to check. And so voila, I'm back. So a flute, which could be an interjection. And that's very interesting. Did you know that? It's familiar. It's the impatience, the lack of patience, or the deception. Oh, flute! I am deceived. I am disappointed. Like, by instance, néanmoins, it's a long sentence, but I will say, avec une bouche moqueuse qui voulait dire flûte ou même pie. And so that's the interjection. But then there is also the form of the verb, flûter. And I was not knowing that, by the way. I don't know what does it mean, flûter, but maybe playing the flute, maybe. Yeah, playing the flute. So, je flûte, tu flûtes, il flûte, nous flûtons, vous flûtez, il flûte. Or it could be, by analogy, render sounds analog to those of the flute. Entendez-vous flûter le merle? That's the example of the bird, by the way. So that's for the verb, but it's not so much used, by the way, flûter. And so it's really interesting because FLEU with the circumflex accent is not pronounced as FLOU TER or TE. Like there is a difference, and I'm going to show the words after one another. Like here. Voila. Flûte is not the same as flute in terms of the sense and in terms of the pronunciation. So here at the left you have flute, 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 flute. And then at the right you have flute, 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 flute. So although in English you pronounce flute, in French you pronounce flûte, flûte. That's really to let you notice about that. That's really interesting. Because if you want to be understood, you have to have the correct sound, when you are pronouncing the words. It's like the same with vu and vous. Vu, je vous ai vu, I saw you. So the vous and vu are not pronounced the same and have not the same meaning. So with that, I don't see anyone on stage. I don't see any pronunciation. Any comment, sorry. My brain is a bit like flûte alors. So let me know if you have any comments. And I will check, but I don't see any comments or anyone on stage. Feel free to join. Else I can also show you another instrument than flute. Of course, it's the word of today, flute, from the orchestra theme of this week. But at the same time, I'm happy to show you another instrument. So right now, I'm sharing flute. But now I can share you another instrument, which is clarinet. And I love to because it sounds like the same, but it's really not the same. So it's from the ancient French clarin. Let me check that. Clarin, without any etymology, but it's more used right now for the viticulture, for the wine culture. Yeah. And it's used in Occitan also, hautbois. So that's another instrument that I can show you also, of course. But here I'm going to show you clarinet in French. And so let me know if you see the difference, by the way, because there is a difference. So in the music, a wind instrument with a bec, like a bec is also similar to bush, by the way. Bec is another word for bush, and it's most used for the birds, un bec d'oiseau. So it's the entrance where you are playing the instrument. A hanche, so hanche in English is, let me check. It's a reed. I was not doing that, by the way. Reed. And so a clé. Clé is key. So these little things that you move. So here you have the flute. You do it with your fingers. But I bet that for the clarinet is you are touching the fingers, but with an instrument, the keys, to allow the holes to be open or closed. So that's in fact, it could be an extension over time to the flute. And so from the wood family, while flute could be of wood or on metal. But nowadays, maybe the clarinet is also on metal, but who knows? And so here you see also it's called as a musician, but like a clarinettiste in that case. There's a flutist and clarinettiste. And so in the industry or in the argot is like the gun, but it's not so much used. And I'm not going too much into the details about the rest because it's quite vulgar. And I was not knowing that by the way. But there are multiple types of clarinet, by the way. Alto, basse, contralto, contrebasse, de basset, des Balkans, piccolo, soprano, lots of Italian terms, by the way. Turk, that's for the country, the Turkish clarinet. Corps de basset, petite clarinette, soprano. So there are multiple types of clarinet, by the way. And in English, clarinet, it's not having the same spelling, but probably having the same pronunciation.
Clarinet.
Clarinet.
Okay, so in English,
Clarinet.
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 Yeah, clarinet. But in French, clarinet. So that's very interesting to know about. And so I truly believe that la clarinette, the clarinet, is an extension of the flute, by the way. So it's good to know about that. So with that, if I don't have anyone on stage or anyone commenting, I might follow because I don't want to go longer with that. But maybe they are showing different types of clarinet. You see the clarinet alto, which is a bit like similar to the saxophone when you think about. No, isn't it? Because there is the clarinet, which is a long one with the extremity on the same line. But here, clarinet alto, you see it's a bit like the same, but with the extremity that is, the extremity that is similar to the saxophone, by the way. That's interesting. Then clarinet bass, that's the same, but it sounds like it's longer. So that's really interesting. There are some similarities, but differences. Contralto. Very interesting, by the way, because I love to discover the variants of the instrument. Contrabass, they don't show this time in the dictionary in French. Let me check if they are. No, because they don't show in English. So then the basset. Okay. So in that case, it's really. Oh my goodness. In that case, it's really shorter, as you see. So that's really interesting when you think. Then Balkan. So sorry about that, because there is like, okay. And then piccolo, they don't show. Then soprano, they don't show neither. And then turque. Very interesting. So you see the differences. It's amazing. Then le corps de basset. Oh, that's interesting. That could be the one at the left could be not the instrument itself, but when it's removed, I think. But it's really interesting. So, and then petit clarinet, which is very also small. And then petit clarinet soprano, sopranino. So sorry, it was not soprano. It was petit clarinet sopranino. So now I'm going to go to Wiktionary, to Wikipedia, sorry. Because they might have other details. So you go to Wikipedia, you search French, and then I'm going to go first for the flute. Maybe they will have, and of course, be mindful always to put it on small caps. No? Okay. Okay. Instrument of music. So here you see a painting with Le Sommeil de l'Enfant Jésus with someone playing a flute. And it sounds like an angel playing that to a child. And it's from Francesco Trevisani. So here you see the history. This is the Neolithic flute. Really, that's like sounds like a bone or a wood from the wood directly from a tree, you know. And then you have the holes, and it produces different sounds. So that's the Neolithic flute. And here in the Renaissance, flûte à bec. Then you have the different types of flutes, because I'm going now to go more with the flute, and then I'm going to do the same with the clarinet. Clarinet. Because as long as I don't have anyone on stage or on the comment, I'm glad to go more further. Because if you don't comment or if you don't go on stage, it's me talking. And thank you for the replay team for your patience. So there are multiple types of flutes. and then flute, instrument of flûte à bec, then flûte globulaire, flûte nasale, flûte à coulisses, flûte à embout coulissant, and then flûte à embouchure libre. So there are multiple types of instruments. I'm not going too much into the details because I can speak about hours. And here you see it's not only the long one, like flute nasal, the Fiji of almost 200 years ago, you know. Yeah, I love that. They are so creative. That's incredible, you know. I love that. But in here, flûte en terre cuite, like baked terre cuite. I don't know how to translate it in, but it's like you can also have flutes like that. Really not straight, but with the curve. And that's amazing. Another flute in terre cuite. I love this. They are so amazing, by the way. Really hard pieces. And then different kinds of flutes here. It's incredible. Here you see the multiple flutes. It's I think it's handpan. No, handpan. No, hand flute, because there are multiple flutes in this as the same genre. And it's like the ancestor of the harmonica, by the way. I think. So yeah. And then appears on the jazz, for instance. I don't know. I'm not going to go play that because I don't want YouTube to censor me after that. But you can check the audio after that. You can go to Wikipedia and play the audio. You have also Jan Anderson. Amazing. So in the jazz, in rock. And so here you have different types of flutes here. So Xiao chinois. Let's see if they have pictures. Yeah. So you can have dozens and hundreds of different flutes because it's something that is really since many centuries or even millennia. So here, Irish flute. That's a long one, by the way. That's a long one. Interesting. And so there is a piccolo, which is really small flute, as you see, with keys out there, which allows you to open or close holes. And so you have ancient flutes with only holes and modern flutes with metal, not anymore the wood, but it's still called a wood instrument, although they are now in metal, and they have keys. So it's the modern versions of the flutes. So that's for the flute in itself. So feel free to discover the different types of flutes, and you can also check on English on EN Wikipedia. There is also, for instance, here the Baroque. For instance, I would say it's a pun with Dagum with Mr. Mike. Daigum. So it's in Korea, I think. So here you see the picture, a beautiful picture, by the way. So it's a big flute from Korea on bamboo. So that's really interesting. So feel free to discover. There are multiple things to discover. We can spend hours and hours and hours just for the flute. So with that, I'm going now to spend the next 20 minutes maximum for the clarinet. And then I'm going to wrap up this session because I'm mindful about your time. Hope that it has value because it's about French. But here you can also have difference in French, by the way. So flute, F-L-U-T-E, but with the circumflex accent in French, and it's pronounced flute. So now I'm going to go to the clarinet version of Wikipedia, and here from the Provençal clarinet, so all French from the Provençal, designing a hautbois, and hautbois, by the way, which is literally high wool, and I wonder if there is a translation in English. But here we are in Wiktionary, in Wikipedia, so feel free to check. I'm going to check if YouTube will allow me to play that. Hautbois. Hope that is not censored. Well, I'm not going to play it whole, but that's the sound for an hautbois. And for the clarinet, they have another sound. So I'm going to cut the sound because I don't know if it will be censored or not on YouTube. Could be a test for me if I want to show you the sound, and if YouTube is blocking that, I apologize. But it will not be blocked in England, by the way. But it's good to know when you are playing sounds. It might be that your whole session, even if it's a few seconds, or 10 seconds, or 1 minute, the whole session could be banned just because you used copyrighted materials. So, but I hope that this will be not censored by YouTube. This will be a test for me. But clarinet. So originally from hautbois, an instrument, also in the wood family, although now it's more metal, the metal family, because these instruments are in metal, they are still called wood family because ancient it was from built from the wood. So you see the different expression, and so created in the 17th century by Johann Christoph Denner. And that's interesting, by the way. And so here you see the different the different session, the history. So here you see the special clarinet from Johann. And here I don't see if there are the zoom here. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, so it's good to know that before, in the ancient times, there were no keys, or really little keys, I think, or no key at all, I think. So it was a kind of a flute that you can have elements separated and in metal. So here you see some different sound here. And here. And here. So that's very interesting because it's the sound is different than the flute, by the way. So here you see an old clarinet with 4 keys. This time it was like probably one of the first with keys, and that's an old one. And from Johann Denner. And so you see the history, and then you see the evolution. So right now I'm just checking if there are any comments. I don't see any comments. Feel free on the replay team to comment after that. And and then feel free to join the stage if you can. And this session will be over after 20 minutes. So here you see the different evolutions with different systems of keys, clétage. So that's a difficult word, I know. It's the first time I see that, by the way. And so here you see ancient clarinet with 5 keys on the 1800. And then here the clarinet with 13 keys. That's incredible. 13 keys in 1809. So you can have simple clarinet with 1, 2, 4, 5 keys, and clarinet with 13 keys. Here you see it's really amazing. It's already old when you see like 17 keys and 6 rings. Like it was like near 200 years ago already. That's incredible. And then yeah. And here it was 154 years ago, 21 keys and 7 rings. And then almost 120 years ago, 22 keys and 5 rings with a plateau. So that already amazing that it was so sophisticated even to 1 or 2 centuries ago, you know. And then here I don't see any. Oh yeah, and here is, I think, is the most recent of this picture, 75 years ago, with 19 keys and 7 rings. So that's interesting, you know, by the way. And so here you see the different views of the same clarinet. I'm going to, yeah. So here you have the different pictures, and here you have the different views. The same clarinet with the different sides that you see, and that's pretty impressive. As you know, playing a clarinet of 200 years ago, I think it's not the same as playing a clarinet of 30 or 50 years ago. It's so complex nowadays. Especially the more you have the keys, the more you have the holes. So here you have the families of the clarinet. So here, I think there is the same depth, the same level of description in English, but here you have the same in French. So if you are an instrumentist, if you are a fan about the clarinet, you have the different French terminologies that might vary compared to the English version. So thank you, Sharon, for your vibes. I'm happy to welcome you in another time. And because I was expecting few people on stage, but it was like me telling them late. So I apologize for that also. So that thank you so much for the replay team also for joining. And I'm checking if there are any comments. Let me know. And here you have so much details, by the way. So I might close this session in 10-15 minutes. And right now you have a lot of details, you know, the different kinds of clarinet. So I'm happy to have 2 instruments in one day, clarinet and the flute. And here you see the different kinds of clarinet depending on the size. That's quite impressive. When you see that, that's quite impressive. From the shortest at the left to the longest at the right. And so I truly believe that the saxophone is inspired by the clarinet, because here you see the embouchure. This is longer, and I wonder if I can see So here you see, oops. Yeah. So here you see the different types of clarinet and the different elements. Bec, which is mouthpiece. Barrel, which is baril in French. Upper joint, which is corps du haut. Then lower joint, le corps du bas. And then the bell, which is le pavillon in French. So you have different parts of the clarinet. So here you have so much details, by the way. You have also different types of mouthpiece. And that's interesting. And here you see the different fingers playing with the holes or with the keys. So here you have so much details about the clarinet. So feel free to dive in. I'm not going too much into the details because wow, it's so long, by the way. So it's quite descriptive. I wonder if there are as much description in English. I'd bet yes. But with the term clarinet without the TTE, by the way. So here you see, yeah, it's already to the clarinet, and it gives you as much as details about this instrument. So even in English, feel free to discover because there are many terms, many terminology about this instrument that you might discover. So that's quite impressive. So with that, I'm just going to stop sharing to see if there are any other comments. And so it seems like this Tuesday it's quite me and myself and I, and it's okay. Feel free to comment or to go on stage. We have still 10 minutes. And I wonder if there is a play about that in YouTube, not showing a song with that instrument, but I'm going to check if there are. Yeah, amazing. So I'm going to share you my screen right now because it's interesting, and I will give you the link after that. If the video is not playing well, apologize, but sounds interesting to show you that, and feel free to check the link after that. So I'm going to share right now a video of 2 minutes. Wow. So thank you so much for bearing with me for 2 minutes. It was quite impressive and instructive for me to have the different sounds of the same name, the same instrument, clarinet, clarinet in English, and to realize that the last one was quite unexpected, quite weird as a clarinet. I might not having this listed as a clarinet family, but it is what it is. And thank you so much for another Olivier. I think it was the name was Olivier that was playing all these instruments. That's quite impressive. And I wonder if there is also the different types of flutes. I'm just going to check if there is a kind of a similar video with different flutes. 5, 4, okay. Hmm. So I might go to this one, which is 4 minutes, and then I'm going to wrap up this session. Because it's interesting also to have the sound. So here I'm going now to share another video about the different types of flutes. I don't see anyone on the stage or anyone commenting. So feel free to give your comments, your feedback. It's quite impressive because it's two different nouns, flute and clarinet, but different kinds of instrument. So so that's really impressive. So I'm going now to share my screen and to show you another video about this time the flutes. And there might be less flutes showcased than clarinets, but let's see. Probably she has a kind of a handful numbers of flutes, so let's see.
Bonjour, c'est Amy. Est-ce que vous connaissez le nom de mon instrument? C'est la flûte à bec.
Oula! I think it's a play to say how heavy this instrument is.
Qu'est-ce que c'est que ça?
She is amazing in acting.
Flûte basse.
She's so funny.
C'est samouraï. C'est samouraï.
Oh no, not with a flute, please.
flûte chinoise. La flûte indienne en bambou.
Bon. Wow. Impressive collection, by the way. Wow. 78. So that's it. Amazing. I'm going to stop the share, please. And thank you so much for watching my video, the video of these two amazing persons, and to watch my session. And so, how are you feeling? What do you think about that? Indeed, it's amazing. Flute. And so, let me know in the comments later on right now. How do you think about that? Two instruments, wind instruments, are anciently wood, and they are still referred as a wood family. But these are also instruments in metal, so could be confusing to say instrument that is a wood instrument, while you can see also flute and clarinet with metal. But it is because at the origin it was on wood. So that was me showing up the first two instruments of this week, flute and clarinet. And there are many, many, many subtypes of flutes and clarinet, and many other types of wind instruments. So I could probably fill the whole year, talking about all the instruments of the orchestra. This theme will be for 1 week, but always feel free, if you like it, to comment and to tell me, oh, I want to continue this theme of orchestra, and probably I will do another one in October or in November or later on. So let me know if it gives you amazing joy to discover that, because it's the first time also that I go more into the details about instrument. And this is because Tuesday I have 1 hour, so right now I can show 1 or 2 instruments during that time. Tomorrow it will be violon, and after tomorrow I will see probably also all the percussions instruments. So let me know, how are you feeling about that? The comments, feel free. I'm happy also to see you interacting with me, because it's about we, it's not about me. And to give you value, also feel free to comment or to ask questions, including in the replay team, so that in the next sessions I can talk about the instrument that you would like me to talk, or any other instrument. With that, we are on 1 minute. I will close the session, but right now I'm not going to sing your song, or to because I was playing the songs with the instrument with these amazing two persons on YouTube, and illuminating someone. I will illuminate someone on the LinkedIn family. So let me check right now who I'm going to illuminate. Okay, I know who I'm going to illuminate. So for today, the inspirational connection, that is my inspirational connection. You will also see J 50 inspirational connections, and I have 89. And today I'm going to illuminate, roll the time that I share my screen. Illuminate Kim Lee. So feel free to connect with her. She's amazing. She is really inspiring by her shares. And so Kim Lee, you are the inspirational connection of today. And so that's incredible because she is master heart healer, relationship coach. And so feel free to connect with her from San Francisco, California. So that's it for the illuminating part. No song for today because I was already showing 2 instrument songs, and this is this end of the session. And for the events, I'm going to so each day ReFrench your brain, shorter version on the rest of the days. Next Saturday, in few days, it will be about education. Saturday Mental Health about education, and I still have sessions for you. On the 1st of September, it was 88. I still have 84 sessions for the rest of September. Pay as you can session for language or French coaching, giving you value for 24 minutes because it's a 30-minute session, but I'm happy to have human connections during 6 minutes. So that's why I say it's 24 minutes. So it's pay as you can. Could be paying me in dollars or in chocolate or in any way. And I still have 84 sessions, and they are running quick. So tomorrow it might be really less, and obviously because time flies. So I'm going to again show the way that you can book these sessions. Feel free to go to my Calendly /FrenchHolly/touch call. Go to the URL that you see below and book your session. And that's it. It's an amazing way for you to improve your French or language learning. So I'm happy to give you value about that. So this is my offering for only September. These are not for October or November or December, or probably not for 88 sessions. So this is your chance, my friends. And if it's really not possible for September, you can book it for October or November or December, but book them because then after the 30 September, it will be over. So feel free to book your session. This is an amazing chance and opportunity for you. And that's it. Thank you so much for the ones that are going to the team replay. And so with that, I thank you for watching me until the end. And I see someone in the comments. Okay, Precious. Thank you so much, Precious. What are your thoughts? Feel free, if you join late, to rewatch the video later on, because I was talking about flute and clarinet, which are in English flute and clarinet. And I was showing also 2 amazing videos of, and I will post these video on the comment. Thank you so much, Precious, for joining me, and feel free to book also a session with me, and also for the replay team. This is an occasion for you to improve your French and your language learning with low cost, because my session is normally higher. It's like 40 to 60 minimum per session. But in September, it's really pay as you can session. So this is a good way for improving your French or improving any language. And of course, I don't speak Japanese. I just can say konnichiwa, arigato gozaimasu, And sayonara, that will say goodbye. But I'm happy to help you in your language journey, no matter what the language, because there are many things that are useful for any language, by the way. Bye from now. Keep shining, everyone.